Caitlin Clark spent 20 minutes signing autographs. She made her way 2/3 of the arena. She signed literally hundreds of autographs. She signed hundreds of autographs. And if you guys didn't see that game today, there were as many Fever fans as there were Sky fans.
Because it looked like Caitlin Clark went to Chicago and took the city over. It looked like she took the city over.
People are showing up just to witness Caitlin Clark. It's like she's the damn Beatles.
Angel, pray up. Me, Reese, I hope you listening. It looks like that line was for my precious CC. How she pulled up in your trap.
Now, see, this the real version of walking your trap and take over your trap. Look at this. Look at that. All them jerseys. I would hate Caitlin too. And I wasn't even aware. Wasn't it supposed to be Barbie night or something? Come on, Caitlin walked in and took over. And she didn't even play.
So Caitlin Clark is not playing the game. And like, by the way, like, people didn't know whether or not Caitlin was playing that game until the very end. There are hundreds of fans that were there to see Caitlin Clark play on the off chance Caitlin Clark would be able to sign something. She was there. She spent like 20 minutes autographing everything.
What happened to Miss Angel Reese? She's all in Indiana during All-Star, and her Reebok campaign, come to your trap, take over your trap.
I think this is what means when you walk into your trap and take over. She in your city. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. I forgot about that tweet. I forgot about the tweet. Walk in your trap, take over your trap. I just realized that. I'm like, oh my God, there's no way they came out with that.
Remember that embarrassing Reebok campaign where Angel Reese tried to get cute with the whole come to your trap, take over your trap nonsense during All-Star Weekend in Indianapolis? Well, congratulations, Angel, because Caitlin Clark just walked into your trap and completely took it over in the most humiliating way possible, while you conveniently disappeared with another mysterious injury.
Caitlin Clark took over Chicago. She signed autographs for hours. This wasn't no extras that was paid to come stand in the scene. No, these were real people trying to get autographs.
She understands the responsibility of being the face of the league. And I don't necessarily know if she wants it, but she understands it.
Who the biggest superstar? I'm waiting.
Come on, man. Come on, man. I don't know how you could ever imagine, like, how can you compete with this? How, what, like, come on, just leave it alone, Angel. And this is why I'm saying you be making yourself look crazy, because in all actuality, there's no comparison between you guys.
The irony is so perfect, it almost feels scripted. Watching Clark create absolute pandemonium in Chicago, while Ree hides at home with a convenient back issue that nobody actually believes is keeping her out of meaningful games. We're talking about Clark generating Beatles-level hysteria outside the United Center, signing over 200 autographs for fans who treated her like basketball royalty, while Reese posts cryptic social media content from her couch during what should have been a showcase moment for her home market. The trap has officially been taken over and is not even close to being competitive, because real stars show up when it matters, while fake ones find creative ways to avoid situations where their limitations might get exposed on live television. If you're witnessing this incredible display of real star power in action, smash that like button and comment Clark Fever, because what happened next proves exactly why business decisions get made based on authentic talent.
I actually feel bad for Angel Reese at this point, and it has nothing to do with like how she's handled herself or anything. It's just simply Caitlin Clark is so much better than Angel Reese at basketball that it doesn't feel fair.
Yeah, I think Angel Reese is struggling with the fact that Caitlin Clark is better at her best thing than she is.
She's better at everything. And she had a triple-double. She's tied for the third most triple-doubles in WNBA history, and she's played 50 games.
Yeah.
She's just better.
This is why I say, Angel Reese, you need to stop trying to attach yourself to this girl at every turn, because you cannot measure up. You don't have as many followers you have on Instagram. That is great. I will not take away from the fact that you are one of the bigger brands in the WNBA. You are a star in your own right, but you are not Caitlin Clark. It's a difference. It's a difference from De'Aaron Fox being at the All-Star game and Steph Curry being there. It's a difference. I'm sorry, it just is. You need to stop trying to attach yourself to this girl at every turn because she have officially come to your trap and taken over your trap. Look at all of the fans coming from all over.
This is what you call real results. This is real life. Caitlyn on a away game to somebody y'all think is on her level. She walks in and take over. And it's outstanding. I'm pretty sure it was more people there for Caitlyn than it was for anybody on Chicago team. See, online, you will think that the person on the other side, the person on Chicago, could even come close to Caitlyn. And when in reality, they can't.
Brutal contrast couldn't be more brutal if someone specifically designed it to embarrass an entire organization, with Clark spending hours connecting with fans who genuinely adore her, while the supposed hometown hero becomes invisible right when her team needs leadership most. This is what happens when you try to attach yourself to someone else's success instead of building your own legitimate brand, because eventually, reality comes calling and exposes the difference between authentic greatness and carefully planned campaigns.
Money Mitch put him in a ditch, and Michaela Timpson treating the Chicago Sky like a bunch of Simpsons. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Might be scorching hot right now. You have been so good on the road lately. 6 straight games, 24 points a game. How are you off to another hot start in a hostile environment?
I think about just staying in rhythm. And when I stay in rhythm, about being aggressive. So as long as I'm aggressive and being myself, they make it easier for me.
The fact that Clark can generate this kind of excitement and fan engagement while injured demonstrates exactly why some players command premium treatment and opportunities, while others struggle to maintain relevance despite similar statistical production in certain areas. But while Clark was busy proving her incredible connection with fans outside the arena, her teammates were preparing to deliver their own statement about what this organization represents when it's time to compete. Kelsey Mitchell stepped onto the United center court and immediately announced her intentions by launching 3-pointers from every conceivable angle, finishing with a spectacular 35-point performance that included 7 successful attempts from beyond the arc.
Kelsey Mitchell, 7 for 10 from the 3-point line, off the start, 8 points quick. You knew, oh, Kelsey Mitchell's hot today. Oh, Kelsey Mitchell's hot today. This might be her game. Let's keep the hot hand in. Let's keep the hot hand going. Let's set her some big body screens, get her open. Kelsey Mitchell, she did it all. 7 for 10 from the 3-point line. She got to the rack. She got to the free throw line, carving up the defense, looking like a little snake, how she just slithers in and out of that defense. Kelsey Mitchell, salute to you.
She lit them up. I mean, she was on fire. On fire. She couldn't miss. I mean, everything was in the flow of the offense. Effortless, man. We got to give love to Kelsey Mitchell. 12 of 19 from the floor, 7 of 10 from 3, 35 points. Straight stirring the pot. Stirring the pot. She was cooking their ass today. Kelsey Mitchell was on one. She was on one. She was a plus 25 for the game. The Chicago Sky are a flat-out joke. This team is terrible.
And Kelsey Mitchell had a gargantuan game. Of course, Stephanie White, instead of letting her roll, took her out of the game. I don't understand what the deal is with that. I really don't.
This wasn't just efficient shooting. This was Mitchell putting on an absolute clinic in shot making while turning a hostile environment into her personal showcase. Despite playing without the team's primary offensive weapon, Mitchell's performance was particularly meaningful because it demonstrated that the Indiana Fever possessed legitimate depth and multiple players capable of carrying significant offensive responsibilities when Caitlin Clark isn't available to create defensive chaos. The confidence and aggression Mitchell displayed on every possession showed a player who completely understood the magnitude of this moment and refused to let her team lose a highly winnable game in an environment where they were expected to struggle without their superstar.
Aaliyah Boston, she had a solid game. 14 points. 11 rebounds, 6 assists, only 3 turnovers, a plus 15 on the court, 5 for 9 from the field. She shot efficiently, and 2 steals, 2 blocks as well. So defensively, she did what she needed to do. I think they might have robbed her 1 assist. I think she really had 7 assists. They kept talking about it on the broadcast.
Chloe Bibby made her introduction to the Indiana Fever today right after getting picked up 8 points in 10 minutes and 48 seconds. She outscored Natasha Howard, who only played 12 minutes.
Ari McDonald, 10 points, 4 for 8 from the field, 4 assists, 4 turnovers. Ari McDonald, it wasn't bad. It wasn't good, but it wasn't bad. Kelsey Mitchell and Aaliyah Boston and Michaela Timpson really put in the work today.
Aaliyah Boston contributed 14 points and 11 rebounds while establishing complete control in the paint, making life absolutely miserable for Chicago's frontcourt players who had no effective answers for her combination of size, athleticism, and basketball intelligence. Ari McDonald provided 10 crucial points off the bench, continuing her remarkable story of stepping up whenever this organization needs unexpected production from role players who weren't even on the roster when the season began. The most impressive element of this performance was how comprehensive and professional it appeared from opening tip to final buzzer, with Indiana building comfortable leads and systematically extending them every time Chicago attempted to create momentum or establish any kind of competitive rhythm.
So Caitlin Clark is not playing the game. And like, by the way, like, people didn't know whether or not Caitlin was playing that game until the very end. There are hundreds of fans that were there to see Caitlin Clark play on the off chance Caitlin Clark would be able to sign something. She was there. She spent like 20 minutes autographing everything.
What happened to Miss Angel Reese? She's all in Indiana during All-Star, and her Reebok campaign, come to your trap, take over your trap.
I think this what means when you walk into your trap and take over. She in your city. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. I forgot about that tweet. Walk in your trap, take over your trap. I just realized that. I'm like, oh my god, there's no way they came out with that.
7. The final score of 93-78 doesn't even adequately reflect how thoroughly outclassed Chicago looked throughout this contest, as the Fever controlled virtually every meaningful statistical category, while making this game feel significantly more lopsided than the 15-point margin suggests. This kind of road performance without your best player is exactly what championship contending organizations accomplish against inferior competition, proving they have the talent, depth, and mental toughness necessary to handle business regardless of who's available on any particular night. What makes this victory even more impressive is how it came against a team that was supposed to be motivated by playing at home with their season essentially on the line. Yet, they looked completely unprepared for Indiana's intensity and execution from the opening tip. The Fever shot an incredible 48% from three-point range while holding Chicago to just 31% from beyond the arc, creating exactly the kind of statistical disparity that turns competitive games into comfortable victories. Sophie Cunningham added another layer of production with 12 points and 7 rebounds, continuing her emergence as one of the most reliable role players in the entire league, while providing the kind of versatile contributions that championship teams need from their supporting cast. The bench production was particularly encouraging, with players like Michaela Timpson and Lexi Hall stepping up to provide meaningful minutes and keeping the rotation fresh throughout the game. This depth allows coach Stephanie White to manage playing time effectively while maintaining competitive intensity, which becomes crucial during the demanding playoff schedule when games come every other day. The defensive effort was equally impressive as Indiana forced 17 turnovers while limiting Chicago to just 41% shooting from the field, showing exactly the kind of collective commitment that separates good teams from great ones when the stakes get higher. Chicago's recent struggles extend far beyond just this single embarrassing loss, as they've now dropped 4 consecutive games while dealing with a mounting list of injuries and roster complications that have completely derailed what many expected to be a competitive season. The Sky entered this matchup with legitimate questions about their coaching stability, roster construction, and overall organizational direction after a series of disappointing performances that have left them fighting for basic respectability rather than playoff positioning. Their inability to compete effectively at home against a shorthanded Indiana team raises serious concerns about the fundamental talent level and competitive spirit within their locker room, especially considering how much talent and potential this roster was supposed to possess entering the season. The coaching situation has become particularly problematic, with visible frustration from players and questionable strategic decisions that have contributed to their recent slide down the standings. Chicago's front office faces difficult decisions about whether to make significant changes during the season or continue hoping that health and chemistry improvements can salvage what's left of their championship aspirations. The contrast with Indiana's organizational stability and clear strategic direction couldn't be more obvious, as the Fever continue building something sustainable while the Sky appear to be stuck in reactive mode without a coherent plan for addressing their mounting problems. This loss represents more than just another disappointing result. It's becoming symbolic of larger institutional issues that need immediate attention if Chicago wants to remain relevant in an increasingly competitive league environment. The psychological impact of this kind of comprehensive defeat at home cannot be underestimated, especially when it comes against a division rival that was missing their best player and still managed to control every aspect of the game from start to finish. When you examine the underlying metrics from this contest, the story becomes even more damning for Chicago's long-term prospects and organizational competence. The Sky were out-rebounded 42-2. 35 despite having what many consider superior size and athleticism in their front court rotation, which speaks to effort level and fundamental basketball execution rather than talent deficiencies. Indiana's ball movement was crisp and purposeful throughout the game, recording 24 assists on 34 made field goals, while Chicago managed just 16 assists on their 29 successful shots, showing exactly the kind of unselfish play that creates sustainable offensive success. The turnover differential was equally telling, with the Fever protecting the basketball much better while forcing Chicago into rush decisions and poor shot selection that led to easy transition opportunities. These kinds of fundamental basketball metrics don't lie about which team was better prepared and more committed to executing their game plan at a professional level. The three-point shooting disparity becomes even more significant when you consider that Chicago actually attempted more shots from beyond the arc but couldn't convert at anywhere near Indiana's efficiency rate, suggesting better shot selection and offensive flow from the visiting team. Indiana's defensive rotations were noticeably sharper throughout the contest, with players